WDW Radio. You're informed.
Hey everybody, it's Lou Mongello from WDW Radio, and as you can see, and here behind me, we are in Epcot in Walt Disney World for the 14th annual Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. They say Christmas is the best time of year. I disagree. I think instead food and wine, and today is a very, very special day because I have a very, very special guest. He is Gary Vaynerchuk, my friend. And he is from Wine Library TV, internet rock star, really. We have a lot in common. You're also a new dad.
I am.
Congratulations. Changes everything, doesn't it?
Oh, it's the best thing that ever happened.
Absolutely. And more congratulations. You have another birth coming up, a little bit less painful, but you got a new book coming out too?
I am really hustling crushitbook.com. I'm very excited about it. I really feel that what I've been able to accomplish for myself through my passion of wine is replicatable around your passion for Walt Disney, for gardening, yoga, mountain climbing, soda. I don't really care. Owning a niche and creating content around your passion is a huge opportunity in this new digital world we live in, and I want to spread that gospel because it changes lives.
And Gary does some amazing stuff, not just on Wine Library TV, but on GaryVaynerchuk.com, and something else in common too. We're both Jersey guys. We grew up right around the corner from each other in Edison, man.
I like that. Jersey represent.
Absolutely. Passion, Jersey, food, wine, it's all good. It's all good. So obviously you're here for the Food and Wine Festival. You've been here a couple years in a row, right?
Yep. This is really, in a lot of ways, in my opinion, one of the, if not the most substantial food and wine. I mean, this is like 3 years long, right? I mean, you guys do this for like 9 weeks, 12 weeks. It's epic, and I'm very flattered to kind of be into the rotation. You know, last year I had an amazing time. Virtually hours after I left, I emailed and said, "Let's push it up a notch. Let's do things." It's. I mean, how can't you love this? It's an underrated. You know, for the wine world, the really nerdy wine people know how serious the beverage program and the food program are here. I think when you get into the casual people, they want to make the connection, and I think it's important to let more people know about what kind of an amazing food and wine experience you can have here while taking care of the family and having fun and enjoying the weather. Sometimes it gets a little too hot, but you know, that's when you wear jeans.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've always tried to sort of preach on the show. And listen, I'm willing to take one for the team and do the research and tell people and show people Walt Disney World is not just about burgers and fries. Certainly from a wine perspective, whether you are a wine expert and a wine aficionado, or like many of us, wine newbies, there's lots to enjoy here. And I think food and wine is a great opportunity to try out some of those different things. How would you tell somebody who's maybe not the wine expert, maybe someone a little scared, what they should be doing for food and wine?
First of all, you need to recognize that you don't need to know anything about wine to drink it. You know, you didn't get taught about chicken nuggets and steak, and for some reason food's been able to leap that hurdle, but wine has this elitist status. You need to try new things. That's the game. If you come here and you see a Pinot Noir and you're like, oh, I like Pinots, and you order it, you're not expanding your horizons. Too many people treat wine as this analogy. It's like if you really legitimately ordered hot dogs every meal of your life. That's what people do. They order Pinot Grigio or Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Noir every single time out. When you get a situation like this where there's wines from all over the world, you gotta try Greek wines, South African, wines from Italy that aren't Pinot Grigio like Valangina and Vernaccio. Here's the rule. If you see something that you've never heard of, order that. Do that for a year or two, you'll be stunned how much of a wine expert you are.
And I think the advantage here is, listen, I think a lot of people may not know the difference between a Pinot Noir, a Pinot Grigio, or half the other things that you can pronounce and many of us can't.
Yep.
But because they have been sort of hand-selected, paired with the food at all of these 70-plus pavilions around the promenade, that's a great opportunity because you know you're going to get something that's not only a good wine, but paired well with what you're eating.
You know, at the end of the day, I love wine more than life, but food is pretty darn awesome as well. And really, when you combine the two, it's a home run. No question. And the way you got this system, you know what? You want to really call a spade a spade? The reason I come here is the system you have in place for these small plates, small samplings of food and wine is huge. It's huge. It's an amazing opportunity for people to expand their palates.
And there's wine seminars and getting a chance to meet and talk to people like you who can help sort of educate people along the way. And food and wine certainly is not a one-day affair. You really need to spend like a week here in order to try it all.
Maybe a year.
I like the way he thinks too. And even if you don't come down for food and wine, I'm happy you mentioned about Walt Disney World being a great place year-round to try wines. I mean, there's places like Chico, for example, where you can get such an amazing array of South African wines that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the level of wine knowledge that lives in this universe, you know, many of us have known, I don't know if it's still at this moment, but at times, more master soms worked at Walt Disney than anywhere. I mean, there's massive wine street cred, brain power in this universe, and not only the themed restaurants like the South African stuff, but restaurant selections across the board are just stronger than I think a non-serious wine person would realize. The quality, this is not your chain restaurant mentality. There's serious selections being done here.
All right, so listen, this is where we separate the men from the boys.
Okay.
You're a Disney fan, you're a food fan, you're obviously a wine guy. Walt Disney World, what's the place you like? What's the place you gotta come to eat every time you get down here? Put it in the spot.
The place I like is the Haunted Hat Mansion. That is the place. You know, G-Code wins because it just does. I mean, it's the best. You know, anybody who knows anything about me, I'm a huge pusher of Portuguese and South African wines. To see a list of that level, Cat Cora's new place, I'm going to check out tonight. Hopefully, I'm dying to check out. So, you know, those are definitely the two that kind of pop in my mind as what's going through my mind right now.
Yeah, and again, things like Cat Cora with that sort of Greek-inspired, you know, Mississippi flair thing. There's a lot of different things for your palate to choose from as far as types of flavors. Again, South African, we're here in Italy, you've got the Greek thing going on. Again, reason to spend a year here, just for no other reason, just for the food.
I mean, Epcot has food from all over the world in one spot. Yeah, I mean, and by the way, I'm all for a little bit of like a snow cone and a cheeseburger. You know, you go to the Magic Kingdom. I went last year with my wife. We had so much fun. Eating those burgers and fries was pretty awesome to me. So you can mix it up.
Absolutely. Listen, it's all about the food, the rides, and everything. Just sort of add on to that experience.
Yeah, that's secondary.
Exactly. So, Gary Vaynerchuk from GaryVaynerchuk.com, CrushItBook.com, WineLibrary.tv. You can see him. If you get a chance to go hear him speak, you got to hear him. He's amazing. Gary, man, thanks so much. Congratulations for everything.
Bye-bye. Take care.